Welcome back. It's been a while since I've done some live streams on this. So the situation is that I did overcome the problem of logistics about the undead of all the provinces, and what we found is that they can be negotiated with the liches of the undead infested territories, and what we had was the locals taking upon themselves to go and do some adventuring. So they weren't necessarily as organised as they should be, and they came into a bit of grief. But we'll cover that in different videos. But what I'm wanting to do today is to talk about Renegade auditions. So just to get the ball rolling, I'm just going to click off the cover sheet and I'm going to go and zoom in on the geopolitical board. Now, for those who haven't been with us before, what it was because of the most recent lockdowns. Um, this was a system that was going to be created for running the geopolitical game without um, without being online. It was never supposed to be something that could be live streamed. It was really I've reacted to the most recent lockdown by throwing myself into trying to develop it as something that can be live streamed, so that as a backup, in a perfect world, we won't have the lockdowns. We'll have the ability to have the face to face where these games can be played face to face. So effectively, each province will have a board like the. Oops, sorry, excuse me. Um, each province will have a board like this that will be on different tables, and that all the geopolitical players can freeform in costume and liaise and negotiate contracts and make their moves. Now that was already ready to go, and then the most recent lockdown caused a bit of a problem with that. So I threw myself into trying to make it so that it could be used as an online live stream, and these could be processed as a live stream. Not ideal. There's just one of me. When it's live, it means that effectively 30 people could be simultaneously playing. But when all of the moves have to go through a person like me, it slows it down. Anyway, so just look, may as well just go over the board a little bit. So around the outside of the board, I have all the different geopolitical groups that are available in the 4 provinces that are going to be part of the start of the campaign. Now I'll grab the campaign regions file and open that up. So these are the regions that are in play. The ones that I've got showing right now, these 4 here, not including the one to the right here, these 4 provinces are in play, and there's the geopolitical players that I showed on the other map. These geopolitical players have an in-character territory, and the in-character territory are these 4 provinces at the start of the campaign, and progressively it will grow to include these other provinces as well. So anyway, back to the playboard. So I'm not sure if anyone who's watching this video will have seen the actual geopolitical map and how we've got the fog of war, and we can zoom in and we can show the territory of the map. Now, as adventurers, geopolitical groups go on adventure, they'll be removing the fog of war from concealing the map. Now, we've already had 3 months worth of process, and what they've ended up doing is taking longboats, longships up rivers and into lakes and around the coastline, and they've revealed quite a bit of territory. So the way it was for 1,000 years is that you would have a consecrated track, and then you would have the revealed territory beneath the that's surrounding the consecrated track. So since the exploration has begun, they've basically gone up river systems and revealed territory along river systems and things like that. Now, what I'm wanting to do now is try to get people interested in what I'm doing, all the work that I've done, and we can proceed so that when lockdowns are over and we can go back to having face-to-face contact, that we can actually have events with high-profile people and also ordinary adventurers getting together. And this is an ideal, perfect world. Hopefully we'll be getting back to it. All the work that I've been putting in has been cheap therapy during COVID. To keep me going, I have really thrown myself into development. So, yeah, I'm proud of what I've done, and it served a very good purpose, which is keeping me from going crazy. So, anyway, just to touch on, I'm going to go around the board and I'm going to show off all the different geopolitical players. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about each one. I'm just going to scroll along. But we have a pro-Samarajay rebel group. Now, they're not out in the open. They are hiding in the boonies, and they may come out. And there are some groups that haven't accepted the Valini peace accords, and these pro-Samarajay rebels don't. Now, we've got all the different group faction guilds. So each of these geopolitical groups will be a group faction. Even if they've only got a card that has 5 characters on it, they can still be considered a group faction. In terms of activity in the geopolitical, I'm wanting to have groups of 20 in order to participate. Trying to participate in geopolitical with less than 20 is kind of suicidal. So, moving along, we've got the Alchemist Guild, we have the Animal Handlers Guild, we have the Appraisers Guild, then we have a few mercenary groups. We have an Alpha mercenary group. Now, I'm only calling it an Alpha mercenary group. That's just the name that I've associated with it. Now, I'm making it so that there are a few different mercenary groups available as group factions. Now, we've also got a pro-Valini Independence rebel group. We've got the Archaeologists Guild. We've got the Assassins Guild, Ballistics Guild. Then we've got the Ambassadorial. So each of the factions has an embassy, and each faction is represented by an ambassador. So the ambassador flits around between the 4 provinces that are in play at the start. Now we have also the High Priest of Melon, which is God of Justice. We have the Brawlers Guild, Climbers Guild, Counselors Guild, another pro Caesar 2 Rebels. Now I will now go down the board, and we've also got the Elemental Binders Guild, Elemental Defense, Elemental Offense, another mercenary group, Delta. We have Elemental Protection. We have another ambassador, the Samarajay Imperium. In fact, that is not the Samarajay Imperium. That is the Caesar 2 Imperium. So it's good that I pick up on. Sometimes, unfortunately, I don't pick them up straight away. And as you can see, that is not the right one. So I might be able to quickly do something about that while I'm at it. not perfect, but good enough for our purposes. Now the problem, of course, is that I have also I've also got the same in the other 4 provinces, so I think that I might just quickly deal with this now and then continue on with what I was going to be talking about today. So this is a play board, play area, whatever you want to call it. So it's it's possible. I mean, I don't know. Look, I mean, the main thing is that people can kind of see that I'm not saying I'm fantastic at this, but been doing it for a while, and you can see it's pixelizing. It's not perfect, but good enough for fixing it up right now, at least with the Stock Arc province, which is the one we're in. Anyway, I'll go back and click on the. Well, we've got tokens. We've got. I think that was tokens. Yes, that was tokens. All right. So moving along. Okay, we've got, as I said, Caesar 2 Ambassador and Companions, Elemental Summoners. We have Epsilon Pro Valini Independence Rebel Group. So I've got a few different rebel groups that are still out there that have refused to acknowledge the Valini Peace Accords. Engineers Guild Grandmaster. We have the High Priest of Unger, the Goddess of Love. We have the Eta Pro Valini Independence Rebels. We have First Aiders Guild, the Healers Guild, Herbalists Guild, and now we get into the Pro Chakra Pop Rebel groups, the Hunters Guild, Leatherworkers Guild, Theta Pro Valini Independence Group, Iota Mercenary Group. There's a Locksmiths Guild group. Guild Grandmaster and Companion. So each of these is the way I'm looking at the way that Geopolitical would work is that you would assemble these cards of 5 individuals, and you would need to have 4 of them to participate with any chance of survival. So these are just the front card in the deck, in the hand that you'll have. Anyway, Mathematicians Guild. There's High Priest of Hethnor, God of Trade. I will stop there and talk about Hethnor. This is one of the most powerful groups within the game, and I do not want the Priests of Hethnor to be represented by player characters or by character role licensee. They will be strictly supporting character roles because of the power that they wield. They're going to serve the story. They're going to be pretty much untouchable when it comes to dealing with them. They'll be a tool for story provider licensee and for Renegade Theatre Company to use them as plot devices and things like that. Anyway, moving along, we've got the Medicos Guild Grandmaster, Metal Workers, then we've got the Chakrapop Ambassadors and Companion. We've got the Lambda Pro Valini, One Handers Guild Grandmaster, Reed Riders Guild Pro Valini, Pro Darkwing Rebel Group. Then we go up to the Runners Guild, Shieldsmen, Stoneworkers, the Mu Pro Valini Mercenaries, the new Mercenary Group, Swimmers Guild, the Omnicon Pro Valini Group, Thieves Guild, the Duckwin Ambassador, Trappers Guild, High Priest of Rianeth, God of the Hunt. We've got the Truthsayers Guild, the Two-Handers Guild, and the Woodworkers Guild. Now, I can go into as much detail as people want later. I'd like to create an FAQ to discuss them all in depth. Some of these things have been fully fleshed out. Some of them need more development, and what I'd like to do is have a bucket load of people who are interested in pursuing it further, who in the meantime we can conduct the geopolitical and function. We can do all the geopolitical until COVID is done and dusted, and so yeah, we will have to we'll have to go into more detail on those things. Anyway, so look, this is just a brief. I can go into more detail on the specifics after, but yeah, I just wanted to introduce that this is going to be the Renegades auditions, and people can basically select what interests them, give it a spin, try out the geopolitical, try out the character roles. By creating by trying it out, they don't have to make any formal commitment aside from being a support character licensee. So the main thing is that it takes a bit of time to get to know some of the processes. I've got it all in my head, and I've got a lot of stuff written down. I have been working in isolation for quite a while, so hopefully people can be a little bit forgiving about maybe the way that I've been able to communicate it. I'm not perfect. This is not the best demonstration or or the best way of communicating it, but I'm certainly going to give it a go. Lots of people don't know me in the community. I have been around the block. I just have been focusing my time on this rather than attending events, so a lot of people won't know me, but enough people know that I'm legitimate, and this is all my work that I've put in. So anyway, I'm going to end it there, and hopefully people will be interested in giving it a go, at least finding out more information. Thank you for being for watching, and if there's any further questions, feel free to private message or to give me a call, or if you just want to have a look at the website, renegadelarp.com. There's also the Facebook page as well. I'm going to try and create an FAQ for any of the commonly asked questions that people have, and hopefully we can address some of those things before I get the question asked many times. I hope we can knock that on the head. And anyway, I'm sorry for rambling again, but